What's up, you guys? Happy Wednesday. All right, so I just wanted, let me get this set up so it's actually like not so high. I just wanted to chat with you guys about something that's just kind of on my heart. I don't really have a plan or we're going to talk about, but if you're in Colorado, it's been a very draining emotional day. Obviously, there was a threat to all of our schools, which was crazy. And situations like that just make me sad. Like, they make me sad for our kids. They make me sad for the girl. Like, if you're at that point where you're threatening, like, going into a school and shooting people, like, you probably need help. And it's sad that she wasn't able to get that. And so, anyway, it's just been an interesting day emotionally. But what I wanted to talk about today was the long game. And so, you know, my beta group for Flow, my program where we kind of dive into all the parts of life, is coming to a close, and we're gonna keep going because everybody really wants it to keep going. But you know, we had our call on Monday, and there was a little bit of like nervousness or fear or scaredness about like, okay, this is over. Like, we've met once a week for 4 months, and it's been amazing. And we've learned so much about ourselves, and like, what do we do now, right? And the scary part, the sad part was that like so many people were like, I'm just like, you're gonna end up going back to what you were doing, right? And I see that in life so much. There's this like constant self-sabotage of, well, okay, yeah, I did this and I did that, and I have so much knowledge, and guys, knowledge is great, but like knowledge without continuous action and implementation and all of that stuff is nothing, right? Like, you can know everything you need to know about business, you can know everything you need to know about nutrition, about exercise, about all that stuff, but like, if you don't do it and you don't like make it a priority in your life, it's not going to happen, right? And so a couple of the girls, like, you know, so the big thing for me is that we end our struggle with food and body, that we end the need to be on the diet cycle, that we truly understand that like we are 100% worthy from the inside. We break down old beliefs, we change our thoughts, we change our sensations, we get in touch with our bodies, we learn how to breathe, we learn how to nourish, we learn how to move, we learn how to do all that stuff. But the thing about fear, right? We come from love or we come from fear. And the thing about fear is that it's freaking powerful, right? And it will win every time if we don't let it, right? Like, our brains are rooted in fear. I've said this a million times. But like, as soon as we get fear of like the ending of the program, or fear of the unknown, or fear of whatever, like, we go back to what we know. Like, if you've had patterns and you've had beliefs and you've had thoughts for 30 years, like, my group has been working on this for 4 months. In 4 months, you have not broken that stuff down. You have not created new evidence. You have not, like, you haven't done enough of that you're not going to just go right back to it if you don't make it a priority, okay? If you don't make it like, hey, I want to make these changes. I want to change how I feel about myself. I want to be so freaking curious about why I do things in life. And I want to be so curious about, like, what does this do? How do I get to the highest, best version of myself? Who is that person? What am I meant to do? What is my purpose, right? You guys, we're all on this earth for a reason. So if you're not every single day going after that and consciously thinking about it, like, you're going to go back to what you were doing because that's easy, right? It's easy to fall back into, like, well, this is just what I've done, right? Like, it just is. And so it's not a short game. It's like, none of this is a short game, guys. It's the long game. But it's also the every moment decision you make, right? It's not, how did your day go? It's how did your moment go? Like, what was that thought? Did it serve you? Was it yours? Is it true, right? Like, if you ate something, like, did it nourish your body? Did it take you away from being more nourished? Did you eat it just because it tasted good? Like, what are these decisions, and how are they serving you, and how are they serving you in the long game, right? Hi, guys. Because the short game doesn't matter. Like, you're not going to be like 10 pounds overweight tomorrow more than you were today, and you're also not going to lose 10 pounds in a day, right? You're not going to be like wonderfully nourished in a day, but like, everything you do consistently over time matters, okay? So as we're starting to make these changes, again, like, knowledge is power. But without action, it's nothing. Like, you've got to embody it. You have to embody the change. You have to make it something you do every single day, right? Every single day, every single decision, every single thought. Like, you got to destruct the old stories, and then you have to create evidence for yourself to build new ones. So, like, I just really want you guys to think about this. Like, what is your long game, okay? Who do you want to be? How much, thanks, Skyla, like, how do you want to show up in the world? And what does that look like? And what's the fear behind it? Because it's scary. Like, change is scary, and learning this stuff about yourself is scary. But, like, what does that mean to you? And how do you want to feel? And who do you want to be? And how do you want to show up, right? And like, if you show up as that person, how does it affect the world? I mean, that's the biggest thing is, like, if you're living in fear and you're living small, who's not benefiting from your love? And who's not benefiting from your purpose? And who's not benefiting from what you're supposed to be doing? And so, you know, like, think about that. Like, what's your biggest purpose? Like, who do you want to serve? And how can you help this world? Kyla, I love you so much. Because if you're not doing it, like, that's selfish. It's super selfish to not be sharing those gifts, right? And so, you know, on a total side note, we went to Becky Castleman's funeral. So a lot of you know her, a lot of you don't. She's an amazing CrossFitter, amazing leader. She started a group called Faith RX, and she was so driven in her mission to just to share the love of God. And whether you believe in organized religion or God or universe or whatever, like, there's something bigger out there, and there just is. And so she was the most passionate, like, heartfelt leader ever. She was 47, crazy fit athlete, amazingly competitive woman. She died of a brain aneurysm, and it's probably the saddest thing that we've been through. But the crazy thing and the funny thing about this, you guys, is that, not funny, but I spent a weekend with Becky teaching her how to pose run. And this is years and years ago. And I remember I was scared to death because I was like, she's a games athlete. Like, what's she going to learn from me? Like, I was a fairly new CrossFit coach, and she was the most humble, just willing to learn, willing to be person. But the thing about her, and this is something that we all have the ability to do, she was 100% present all of the time. And when you talk to her, you were like the most important thing ever. And she always remembered everything about your life. And she was 100% present, like, always. And so she just made you feel special. And we all have the ability to do that for other people. And that was what they talked about at her funeral. Like, even if you'd only had a few interactions with Becky, like, you just remembered it, right? You knew her. It was a way she made you feel, right? Her presence, her energy. And so, like, when you think about it, like, it's that old saying of, I think it's Maya Angelou, but don't quote me on that, of, people won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And that was 100% Becky. So you guys, you get that choice every single day with whoever you come in contact with. Like, you get that choice of how do you make people feel, right? And they're going to remember that. And there may be the person that you smiled at the grocery store that was having a crappy day, that, like, you made them feel special and you were in their presence, right? So just go be that. But the other thing, you guys, is, like, the person you talk to the most is yourself. So if you're not present with yourself and you're not telling yourself all those good things and you're not thinking about who you want to be and how you want to show up, like, you're never going to do it for other people. So make sure that every morning you're like, hey, I freaking love you. You are worthy. You are amazing. You got this. Like, what is your purpose? Journal it, write it down. Like, be present with yourself, because once you learn how to be present with yourself and trust yourself and just be love and know that you're loved from the inside, and know that, like, whatever the world thinks doesn't matter, but that you know your purpose and your mission and your love, and then just go do that. But do it first for yourself, because nobody else can give it to you. Everything you get from the outside is just added bonus. But just be present with yourself so that you can be present with everybody else. Just make sure that, like, everything you're doing is from a place of love, and everything you're doing is to better this world and share your mission and just make somebody smile, right? Like, again, with everything that's going on in Colorado right now, like, that girl needed more love. And all of our kids do. And all of our kids that are scared now that, like, they can't go to school because there's a crazy person. And I feel blessed that Carson's not old enough to really understand it. I'm sure she's going to hear about it. But, like, she goes to school every other day, so it was easy just to be like, oh, you know, school today. But, like, just come from love. Just be that. Genuinely be that. Because the world needs more of it. And, yeah. So that's my random rant today of just look at the long game, right? But just be present, be love in every single moment, but focus on your long game and really who you want to show up as and how you want to be in this world. So I love you all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see a lot of you later. But yeah, so anyway, all right, guys, hope you're having a good day.